We are in December. I cannot believe that this is happening so fast. It's mind blowing. It's not fair, but it is. Eddie G's Music World, and we are here for more one hit wonders. Bands, singers, they just could not sustain the cruelty of the music business. According to Billboard, they had the one hit, and then from there, they turned into this obscure act or singer. And, like I said, there's exceptions. There's times where these acts ended up doing something else, but according to Billboard, they didn't get credit for having other hits in other bands or other situations. And there are times where they had minor hits or medium sized hits after the one hit, and the Billboard considered that also to be a one hit wonder. Now, here's a singer. Um, to start off the 1990s, we are dealing with Sinead O'Connor, who I actually made a prediction to somebody months before, a few weeks before, maybe 2, 3 months, that it would go to number one. I made a bet with them. I made a bet with them that this song would go to number one, and the person said no. And sure enough, it went to number one. Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You, famous for being the, written by Prince, and he did it himself too. But this is the one that was massive, and she did have other kind of some semi songs that were popular. This one is pretty close to being a one hit wonder in actuality, but started off the 90s with this moving, great song, and of course, she's been a bit of a radical with the shaved head look, but that was way before it was popular. And she's revolted against a lot of stuff and been outspoken, tore up a picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live, whatever. There's a lot of controversy, and she's kind of, I heard, read that she maybe is a bit on hard times, but I don't know exactly. We go back to this 1990s One Hit Wonders. Mellow Man Ace. Now I've heard of this guy, Mellow Man Ace, but Menti Rosa. That's got to be something I need to kind of catch up on, to whether or not I know it or not. It's one of those things. I'm going to say hi to myself again because I mean, I didn't give much notice that I'm doing a show, and the once in a while live listeners are not around probably, so it's okay. Next, like I say, this act, Mellow Man Ace Mentarosa, I have not much to add. Same thing for the next act. The 90s were kind of a less, I was less into the music then as I was in the 80s, but there are a lot I do know. Candyman, Knockin' Boots. Can't say I know that, although there was a movie called Candyman. Now, the next song I do know quite well. It's quite annoying. I did hear it like overplayed. I went to a lot of bars at the time. Groove is in the Heart by Delight. Now, that is a commercial too. I've been talking a lot about songs that end up in commercials. And yes, they didn't have another hit. And the next band is EMF. And I wish I remember what that stood for, but Unbelievable, I think it was the number one song. They did follow it up with Lies, which was really good. Now, in the song Unbelievable, they sample Andrew Dice Clay. And I actually emailed his website and asked, and I think his manager replied. I said, "Were you compensated for the sample of, Andrew Dice Clay is screaming in the song?" He says, "What do you think?" No, I didn't get paid. Like, what do you think? Like, obviously, like I'm the dummy for asking. Like, obviously, he got paid. Hey, look, you email Andrew Dice Clay, you get sarcasm. It's not a big shock. They had a great follow up called Lies. If you really have time, go into YouTube, throw in EMF and the song Lies, and it's quite good. Okay, we're at an act that he's a massive star in Canada. Tom Cochrane, Life is a Highway. Now, this guy made a killing off this because Rascal Flats, I think, or Brooks and Dunn, or one of these country acts, they redid it, and also was a big hit for them. Plus, he's was in Red Rider. He's the main guy in Red Rider. They had Lunatic Fringe and other hit songs, and he's had his song "Life Is a Highway" in a commercial. So he's really lined up big money off of that song. come close to see him live by himself. Didn't go. Then he opened up for John Mellencamp. I almost went, but then I'd seen Mellencamp twice, and I didn't feel like going and seeing Mellencamp a third time just so I could see Tom Cochrane. So I let it go. But maybe one day. I've emailed him and his website, but there's no reply. Uh, kind of a dumb song is the next song, which I really got overheard. I really, really overheard it, and I'm glad I don't have to hear it anymore. I'm Too Sexy, Right Said Fred, these two bald brothers. I mean, yeah, it was fun at the time, cute, but it just got so much airplay. It made me crazy. I just can't stand that song. Sir Mix-a-Lot is the next, and I think I've heard this song on a rib. Could it be a rib ad or something like that? Baby Got Back. It was all about, sexual innuendo about big rumped women, and the guy never really had a long career. I guess it didn't have, according to this, didn't have any other hits, but I don't remember. Uh, Another song is Crisscross. I remember liking this when it came out, and it still is a good tune when I hear it. These two young guys, one of them definitely died after it came out. The song was Jump, and it was like Daddy Mac and all these little references. It was like one of those early 90s hip hop songs. But this was huge. This was really, really big, like the Baby Got Back song. But again, they didn't continue they didn't last too long, and they didn't have a great ending to their career since one of them passed away. And we're on to the next one, 1990s One Hit Wonders. The band is House of Pain, Jump Around. So that's two straight Jump songs. Jump Around, we do hear quite a bit. Very innovative. I liked all that sound effects, like the synthesizers and the funny noises and the words. It was all good. I don't hate the song if I hear it now. It's not annoying because I don't hear it that much anymore. But probably at the time I found it somewhat repetitive to hear it so often. But look, they've had other songs, one or two more, but I can't remember them right now. Okay, here's one. I have to skip. Okay, I got three straight songs that if I was asked, I really don't remember them. See, this is my admission of not being really proficient in 1990s as much as I was 1980s. Positive K, I Got a Man. I don't know who that is. Paperboy, Diddy, Dweez, Dazzy Dukes. Don't know that either. 95 South. Woo. Woo. There it is. Now I know the next song, Tag Team Whoomp. There it is. So I don't know if it's the same song or not, but Whoomp, there it is, definitely was a huge, huge song. And it was kind of used in sporting events, and it was one of those upbeat, bouncy songs and kind of hip hoppy, gimmicky, but I don't mind it. It wasn't bad. But so we're heading into the area that I don't know as well. Now, this next one I definitely know. The next three or four in a row I know quite well. Next one is Blind Melon, No Rain. Okay, Shannon Hoon. He had maybe one other song that I barely knew, but this was the one that made him famous. But of course, like a lot of these, he was kind of in the same circumstances, suicide or drug overdose, the singer. I'm saying similar to Nirvana, but Nirvana, there was a gun involved with Kurt Cobain, and with this guy, I think it was an overdose. Shannon Hoon of Blind Melon. It had the famous B girl that was like jumping up and down in the video. The other one I definitely know, famous for also was been the movie with Night at the Roxbury. That's the one, and it was the song "What Is Love" by Hathaway. That stands the test of time. Great beat, great vocals, and I know that this was massive all over the world. But you'd think a guy like this could follow it up and have other hits, but no, he did not. Okay, next we're on to, let's see how many 90s are. Can I get to the end? I might be able to, but it's quite a big list, so I don't know. Four Non Blondes, very well known. What's Up? What's Going On? That one is famous for one person that came out of the band, Linda Perry. Now she is was one of the singers in this band. She turned out to be write a lot of songs and definitely big massive producer for Pink. Well, if you produce for Pink, that's going to make you a lot of money, and other people too. She definitely had a great career as a producer, probably a writer too. But that song pretty catchy. The Breeders. I saw this group live. They opened up for Veruca Salt, I think. Cannonball. Kind of a grungy type of song. Uh, I don't remember a lot about the concert, but I probably didn't mind it. I like their song. And next is Ahmad, Back in the Day. Now I have to plead ignorance to that one. I don't know it at all. The next one I do know. Ini Kamoze, Here Comes the Hot Stepper. I think they used this for the Philadelphia Phillies when they were really doing well. They were in the playoffs, or maybe they were in the World Series, and this seemed to be a song that they played a lot. But yeah, if you definitely want to hear a fun, like reggae tinged type of Jamaican sounding song, you could look that up. Ini Kamoze, Here Comes the Hot Stepper. The next one, wow, there's a few little gaps in my memory here, like songs that didn't get played where I live. I think that's the reason. Toadies, Possum Kingdom, no clue who they are. Everybody But the Girl, I do remember that band. Missing. I think I remember who this was. I think I remember this song. It's kind of like a very like Alison Monet type song. Sounded like that song. I think. Yeah. I'm looking at the picture of these. There's a girl with short hair and a guy. But Skilo, I Wish. Don't know this one. Dion Ferris. I do remember this one, and the song was called "I Know." Dion Ferris. I can't really describe it. Just that it was a very poppy song. We're on to Joan Osborne, One of Us. Very very big song. Huge. Talking about God or whatever. Now I did contact Joan on the Twitter, and she replied, which is rare for any musician that has any popular songs. Because I had read that Shirley Manson of Garbage and her, Joan Osborne, met somewhere in a restaurant, and they ended up arguing and fighting physically. So I figured, what's the biggest? I can ask her, Joan, and she can say, yes, it happened, or no, it didn't. But she says it never happened. I had read it, and she denied it. So I don't know. I wasn't there, so I'm going to assume that it's true. That meaning, I believe Joan Osborne that there was no fight between her and Garbage's Shirley Manson. I actually heard Shirley Manson on some Sirius satellite radio interview. Nonchalant, 5 o'clock. Can't say I know that one. Dishwalla, Counting Blue Cars. Saw them live. That song is pretty big. And here's a story that shows how much it pays to be a rock star, even though they were only rock stars for a couple of years. There was 3 or 4 beautiful girls in the front of the stage, and they were like motioning with their hands, like they were like showing the guy that they wanted to hang with them after, because they were like good looking kind of guys. They looked like they could get girls, and they said, yeah. So I don't know what went on after that concert, but I can tell you, if anything happened, that guy's a damn lucky guy, because they were attractive 20-year-old women. Good for him. Space Hog, In the Meantime, one of those cosmic type of sort of Stone Temple Pilot type of songs. Never heard from them after that. Crucial Conflict. Hey, don't know it. Primitive Radio Gods, Standing Outside a Broken Phone Booth with Money in My Hand. That I do know, because in it it's a guy kind of talking, and then you hear, I've been downhearted, babe, I've been downhearted, babe, which was a sample from B.B. King. And then I read that the B.B. King sample made more money than the Primitive Radio Gods guy, because it's one guy basically who called himself Primitive Radio Guy. So in other words, he had to pay so much money to either B.B. King or the record company or whoever owned it that they didn't make as much as the payment. So it doesn't sound like he made a lot of money. Next is another one of these bubblegum songs. Okay, cute. Love Fool by the Cardigans. It's okay. It's bubblegummy pop. And we're on to the next. Duncan Sheik. I seem to remember Duncan Sheik, Barely Breathing. This was one of those pop hits that kind of slipped by super quick. Can't say I remember much. The Verve Pipe is next, which is the Freshmen. That I do remember. This is the alternative year and the grunge year, and this is kind of in that vein. And it's got a build-up song with a lot of passion. And I'm going to give you 5 more minutes because I don't want to exhaust the 1990s. I mean, they were pretty important. So I'll give you, I won't go to the end, but we'll give you 4 or 5 more songs. Now, the next one, OMC, How Bizarre. That was massive, that song. That I kind of liked. It was very, it was kind of like gimmicky a bit with the way the guy sang. And then I heard the guy died like within 5-10 years after this song, the main singer. So that's pretty sad. But this is how it works. We're down to Tracy Lee. The theme it's party time. Can't say I know it. So I have not much to say. But I will say that I know the next song very well. They're actually coming to Montreal. They recently came. Aqua, Barbie Girl. It was such an off the wall, bizarre song that I couldn't really explain it to you. It's kind of cute. The guy's acting like a bit of a weirdo, and the girls are acting like they love Barbie. But it had a nice, catchy beat, so I can say that I liked it. But I remember buying the CD like in 2002 or three for someone, and they liked it too. So I don't know. They didn't really do much after that. I'm gonna. I'm gonna. So I have more to do next week. Maybe I'll just give you one more. One hit wonder. And it's a band that I actually saw live. They opened up for the band that did closing. They opened up for Semisonic, and this group is Harvey Danger. Very like energetic, very like emotional, rough song, like a lot of screaming. And I didn't think this made the top 40, but it's on the list. I didn't think it was a hit in that sense. But Flagpole Sitter. If you do want to hear something really rocky and good, I would say go listen to Harvey Danger. I saw them in a small club with a person that was like seriously paranoid. So the girl was kind of stressed out, and we had to go in the back of the building, and it was getting her nervous. So, but it is a memory of mine seeing the concert. Semisonic was pretty good too. The guy had like one or two drums. It was weird. So that will end it for this week for the one hit wonders from the 1990s. There's a good 15 or 20 more to go, and we'll keep that around. And I'm probably gonna not do much between the 25th and the 7th or 8th because my kids are going to be home from school, and they're extremely high energy boys, so they don't make it easy for me to do shows. But thank you for listening. Eddie G's Music World, I appreciate it. December 2nd, 2019. More 1990s One Hit Wonders next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.